Hello there. I know it's been a long time since I posted anything new. I apologize for that. I haven't forgot about it. It's life, how it works. However, I felt inclined to do this quick video. I'm trying to make dinner here and get that done. But I finally, because I'm an idiot, didn't realize that I was already paying for Hulu with a bundle program, blah, blah, and I'm one of those stubborn people who didn't want to add a new service. Anywho, point is, as soon as I realized that I actually had Hulu, I've spent the last week watching the entire first two seasons of Reservation Dogs. Which, if you've seen some of my previous videos, I did do a clip from the very first episode when William the Spirit first appears to Bear, which was hilarious. So I just literally this last week watched the first two seasons, and now I'm heartbroken that I'm gonna have to wait until August theoretically of next year to see season three. So, quick little dive into it. If you've seen the show, then you're already going to be familiar. If you haven't seen the show, then there's going to be a few spoilers in this. I first thing I'll say is I had seen that clip and a couple of other clips, and kind of a previews of the show and stuff, and it definitely enticed me, and I wanted to watch the show. But like I said, I'm stubborn and didn't want to pay for another streaming service until I realized I already had the Hulu with the bundle. So let's get right down to it. First season, overall, I thought was incredible. It was funny. It definitely had some moments that were, I wouldn't say unexpected, but it would switch from the comedy to drama very quickly when it introduces you not only to that they had lost a friend, but exactly how that went down, how Laura Dannon found him, found Daniel, and everything. That was, yeah, it was emotional, really good drama. The kids, the actors are freaking phenomenal. My absolute favorite through two seasons is Willie Jack. She's just phenomenal. That little actress is amazing. Her delivery is dead on. Her humor is so great. I love her to death. She's awesome. So season one, I thought it was absolutely great. I would have wanted to watch season two no matter what. That said, season two was incredible. The show took a step. It had, and I don't want to say it didn't have any in the first season, but it had so much heart in the second season. There was so much that it did without weighing on you and making you feel like overly dramatic or overly trying to pull at heartstrings or overdoing some of these stories, of res life and growing up and everything. And I think they do a great job of mixing that drama and that humor, and it's very real. I mean, it comes across the way they shoot it, the way the dialogue is, and everything else. It just comes across as a very real story. The kid, all the actors, been really pleased with the cameos they've had on there. Wes Studi was hilarious. Seems like a fun character for him to play. It seems like usually he's much more dramatic in his roles, so that one seems like fun. You just yeah. So the storyline, I think they've done a really good job with. A lot of times it seems like with shows in those first couple of seasons, they'll start with an arc. Like for instance, in this, the kids were all going to go to California, and then that fell apart. And there's a lot of shows and writers seem to have a tendency to kind of move away from that after the fact, but they've really kept that as a prevalent point, which all ties back to Daniel and how none of them can let go of this pain. So the way season two ended was rewarding, and then if you've seen it, there's a nice little surprise at the very end when Bear announces to them that he's not going back. So yeah, overall, it's an incredible show. I think the humor is great. I love the way. So there was a review that I had read of it before I started watching it, written by a white man, and he was saying the show was very good and everything else, nothing negative about the show, but he did have a tone in it that was very much like, oh, the show is made for Native people to enjoy more, because there's a lot of stuff that white people won't get. And I can see some of the stuff he's talking about, but I think it's fantastic. Like, it does not stop to explain anything about Native life or res life for a white audience, which I think is fantastic, because it shouldn't. It's, I mean, that would be, well, not to tell anyone. It would be crazy. So I think it's really awesome the way they do it, because I feel fortunate that for the most part I've been able to keep up, and if there's like little, what do they call them, Easter eggs or little undertone or kind of side things that, crack jokes about this, that, the other. The owls, don't look in the owl's eyes, stuff like that. I thought it was really funny. But yeah, it's a perfect blend of humor. And then there's a couple of episodes that I've really enjoyed that kind of give you, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a break from some of the serious tones when some of the episodes that really dig into, like when Allura found Daniel hanging, when the grandmother died. You have those episodes. So then right after, you have the aunties going for their night out at the conference, which is freaking hilarious. Like, if you have not watched the show, watch the show. And some of these episodes have this levity built in where it's kind of just a side story of something else that's happening, but it doesn't, carry the main storyline through, which is fine because, like I said, it gives you a little bit of a break from some of the heavy tones of it. But that episode was hilarious. I can't wait to have my wife watch that one. I think she'll really enjoy it. So anyways, if you have not watched the show, watch it. I apologize for spoiling a few things for you, but I don't think I gave too much away. The storyline of these four kids is great. It's a raw look, and from what I've heard from some of my friends who have grown up on reservations and together, they said to a certain extent it's very accurate. It's it's a very raw kind of, here it is. This is what it is. It's nothing fancy. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to, make it sound anything better than it is or any worse than it is. So it's been really cool. So definitely check out the show if you haven't. And again, I apologize for it being like a year since I've posted anything, but I'm going to try, I've said this before, I'm going to try to keep going. I should have a little bit more time on my hands. And last thing, side note, previous videos I talked about my work trying to start this organization. That is still in process. As some of you will know, when it comes to trying to start an organization, nonprofit type organization, there are a lot of easier things than native causes, native issues to get attention. That one doesn't get a whole lot of attention, so it's going to be a little bit of a road, but I'm not giving up on it. So again, thank you guys for sticking with me, for joining, and I will see you soon.